Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Harshita. I'm the Senior Manager for Talent and Organization Development in Freshworks. We are a tech software company, a product company who makes softwares. And we've been in business for about 10 years now. Um, just a little bit about who I am. I am an HR professional with about 12 years of experience. I've had multiple roles that I've played across my career. Have had the opportunity to work with big organizations and also fast growing, accelerated paced organizations like Freshworks today. Have enjoyed my 12 years in the HR space, been a mix of HR business partner where I've understood how businesses work, how salespeople work, and also now in this also been a COE, a Center for Excellence for Learning and Development, talent strategies, diversity, one of my most favorite topics, and that's where I'd also got associated with Jobs for Her, and also in the space of campus, employer branding, etc. But today, very happy with all of you to share some of my thoughts around the whole work from home scenario, which all of us are experiencing. We've also been at work from home since some time now, and to start with, I would really share my own personal experience that I'm like a total convert to work from home. I was someone who never believe too much into it when I ever heard of it before, or when we started now about a month back when all of us were faced with this situation. So I'm like a total convert. And to begin with, where did this whole understanding for me of how sort of work from home can actually help us thrive and be more productive when we are at work? What is it that sort of stops some of us, like stop me from really understanding its power? Was when I realized that let's figure out what am I missing. So each one of us has our own space, and what I realized was that our whole work, our whole office, has a big space in our life. It's part, it's a big part of our identity, right? And we miss that space. And when I just started thinking that what's the space I'm missing, so I could actually think of three spaces I missed. I of course missed my physical space. So you enter office in a particular way, you dress up in a particular way for it. That's an identity of the whole attire that you have for office. There's your whole desk which you very nicely keep up. Some of us are extremely particular about how our space needs to look like, where I want to keep my pencil stand, how my laptop needs to be, what stickers around need to be. But that's my space, right? Some of us also want to keep it all over the place, which is fine, but that's your space to work. So I'm missing my space, I'm missing my whole place where I would sit and work, etc. So that's the physical space I'm really missing. The second space that I really miss was about people. Think about it. We go into our office, we have these colleagues that we go on with a chai break on or a lunch break on. We have our own time when we have a chit chat with them. We crib about what's happening at work. We share our celebrations, we share our joy. There are small those times that you have with people over there, and there's a routine to it. If you think of it, there is that people routine that we do miss today, right? Of course, we are at home, we are with family, but there's a whole people routine of my office which I was used to that I'm missing. So that's the other people space I miss. And then, of course, it's my professional space. All of us are used to a ways of working, right? Some of us are like a hustler. You want to talk to people, quickly figure out things, sort out things. We want to hustle. Some of us like having conversations, writing rather writing than emails. For example, I always thought, okay, if there's something that we need to figure it out, why don't I just walk over to that person, speak it out rather than sending an email or a Slack chat or something and just finish it off. I miss that space, right? I miss those spaces where you could walk up to your manager and just look at the person and just bounce off ideas that this is how I would like to do it. This is what we've been thinking. Is there a plus plus? Look at the person's expressions. No, some of us are also very mindful of how people are reacting to our situations, and we're missing all those interactions, right? So I really thought that why was it such a overwhelming thing for me when the whole work work from home thing came, and why was it getting it for me to get it so difficult for me to accept it, is because I was missing that me part of it, that physical space of mine, a people space of mine, and actually my professional space, because there's a particular way of working that I have, right, which is more suited maybe when we were in an office scenario, and how do I sort of deal with it. Now imagine these three things not being there. In addition, we are also having this whole external challenge of hearing about COVID, being having anxiety about it from our own standpoint, for our dear one's own standpoint. Also, we are also at home, right? We all have family, we all have children who also need our attention today. So with all that missing that we are doing of who we are, how our identity got played every day, say 8 to 10 hours every day that we are in office or more. Even understand, even after office, a lot of 8 to 10 hours when we spend at a place, we have some of our best of the buddies over there, and even those we are not able to touch base with on a regular basis, and that has an impact on us. So we miss ourselves. Example, we miss me, right? And that's where I really started thinking that that's what I'm missing, and what do I do to sort of recreate that so that I don't miss me, right? I was missing me being in office, right? Also, given the fact, as I said, there's an external circumstance that we are dealing with, and so it's a big challenge which came to how do I identify and reconnect with that me, that is such a big part of who we are, right? So that's when I started thinking that this physical people and professional space is something, as much as that we can recreate at home, is what is really really going to help us. And very very simple things, honestly, all of us have our own coping techniques, and we are trying to figure it out how to do, because all of us don't want to miss the me that we would experience for 8-10 hours of our day, because it's a huge part of who we are. So when we don't want to miss that, we have to be very conscious of recreating that. So whether it's the physical space, figure out a space in your home. It can be as simple as a one small corner in your kitchen, which will be your office space, a space where you can little bit recreate it as you would have recreated it in office. Have your post-its, have your to-do list, be ready at the time that you generally would go to office. Create that routine for yourself, because you're basically missing that. The anxiety is coming from the fact, see, I'm not doing something that I'm so used to doing every time. So create those small thing, calendarize thing. There's one thing I was reading on the net the other day, which said, have those desk breaks, those water cooler conversations. Have those breaks for yourself. You may not have those people right there for you, but walk up, go have a chat with your kid, come back, have a glass of water, just give yourself those breaks. This is a very very good time of really sitting down and doing those neck etc exercises that we've been learning for, just but give yourself those breaks, because we used to do that in office, right? People, be extremely mindful of connecting with people. We say communicate, 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 connect, connect, connect. Even if it means barging into people's calendars and saying, listen, I just want to speak to you once a week, especially with people who were used to having those water cooler conversations or taking those breaks with, because they are an integral part of who you are. So be conscious of even connecting with them. One thing I would like to say here is that a lot of times we feel this is our need to go ahead and connect. We may really not know that how much people are needing to connect with us, because they were used to with us. Those were part of who we were in our office. That was my people space in office. Professionally, again, be mindful of having cadences which are very structured. So when will you meet a person, how many times, put it out in the calendar. Talk about the to people more and more. Clarify as many questions as you have. Today everybody is mindful that when we are not right in front of each other, there are questions which may come in later. You might not be able to think that at that point in time on a Zoom call. So clarify those questions with people, reach out to them. Make an action list after every conversation that you had to say, what next are we supposed to do? These are very simple things, but at this point in time, to be very effective, let's be very mindful of those and make sure that we do them. State the action that's needed after every conversation. So you're making sure that the person knows what you want to do, right? The other important thing while we do all of this is that, remember, there is some little time we are today saving, not commuting, not doing some of the things that you would generally do for a preparation to office. Use that time for yourself. That whole me time that we are saying, a lot of times we've said, how do I figure out that time? Where is that me time? But find that me time. You'll be able to find that time for yourself, and find that time and use that time for development. Use that time to figure out what is the learning course that you would like to do. Reach out to people in your space who can tell you more in terms of what's going on in that space. Learn from the experts, etc. We have to be very, very conscious at this point in time. Remember, we're all talking about the new normal. The faster we jump to accepting this new normal and create that routine, that me that I was so used to, in our own way, in at home, will be the best way to sort of deal with this and remain positive throughout it. Not only positive, but really thrive, because that's the routine, that's the me we are missing. Identify parts of that me that you can recreate and work with those at home. Now, I was shared some questions as we had put out this chat, and I'm just going to sort of try answering some of those. So Asha Mehra had asked a question saying, how to maintain my sane while literally handing everything around me? Absolutely. And I think first thing, just accept all of us are going insane at some point in time in the day or at some day. It is an insanity for all of us at some point in time, and it's okay to accept that. The other thing to accept is that this is how it is, right? We have to figure out a way to be sane through it. So there is insanity which will come, which we will figure it out, but there is also saneness that we have to figure it out between this. How to maintain it? Again, I'm saying, figure out what you're missing, figure out what you're not able to maintain, what you were used to, and what are very, very important parts of that you recreate. Whether it's about chatting with those buddies in office, whether it is about doing a specific catching up with your manager. If that's needed, please reach out to your managers and say, hey, listen, I need that little time that we used to have, that brainstorming time that we used to have. If it is about creating that little office space for yourself, the colored post-its, whatever meant you, make sure that you recreate that at home, right? And consciously, judiciously do that. Okay, that would be something that I would really recommend. Neeta Sinha had asked us that what are some practices that will help me stay positive during this time. One is that stay positive by making sure that you're recreating that routine. Once you recreate that routine that you were used to as much as you can at home, you'll be able to identify what's going on. So that will ensure that you feel that everything is normal, everything is going on okay. The other piece around positivity is that always find the right balance within a situation. Yes, situation is a situation which is giving us anxiousness, is a situation which is making us feel what is going to happen, how long it is going to last, right? But ensure that at the same time you also know what is it that this time is giving you. This time, whatever come we say, is also giving us some extra time to invest in our own self. It is giving us that extra time to be at home. Remember that it is also giving us that opportunity to, what we say, the whole work life balance actually being played out. It is giving us that opportunity. So the important thing to do while we practice and recreate, and please consciously recreate your physical, people and professional space at home. When you do that, remember that this is the new normal. The faster we latch onto it, understand it, and this is how I have interpreted the new normal at a personal level, that this is my new normal. This is how we are going to move ahead and thrive when we are going to be there. So just accept it, recreate your space, and make sure that you deal with it as something that you are developing for being more successful in the future, right? Nirja Subramaniam has asked that how to turn this time as something positive for my career. One is, of course, if you are in a workspace that you are, and if you're working for an organization, it is important to keep sort of at what are your deliverables, do them well, find out opportunities. See, also there are organizations who have either a leap ahead in such situations, or organizations who are learning to be in situations. Also figure out what is it that you can do differently at this point in time to add to your organization's ability to cope up with this time. Is there something that you can think of, right? Is there something that, because that will be of immense value to the organization, right? Can you add something, can you suggest something as an employee which will make it more effective even for the organization to be there. The other thing around uh, turn this time as something positive to your career would be, again, I really feel that if you consciously make this effort of investing maybe just about half an hour to 45 minutes a day in saying what next in my career I want to do, how do I prepare myself for it. It can happen at this time also, because this is also a time where a lot of organizations have gone ahead and offered free courses online. Pick up something that you'd like to develop, right? But identify that, again, it's going to be an effort, a very conscious effort for you to make sure that that's really happening. The other thing is, connect with people who are experts in your space, right? All of them have today figured out how to thrive in such situations. Learn from them, learn what's really happening in your space, and make sure that you add into your career. And as we step out of this situation, or we be in this situation a little more, we make sure that the paths that we had created for ourselves around development, career, etc., we are on them. It's just that we'll have to do them a little differently, right? That's one thinking we'll I like all of us to have. Yes, from being at office to being at home, that whole thing has changed, but what we were gunning to be, what we wanted to be, let's keep that intact. Let's not lose that me also, right? um, uh, Lavina wanted us to know that I'm fresh out of college and in my first job. I don't have much to do once I'm done with my work for the day. And what are some of the things that I can do to excel in my career? I think, Lavina, if you do have time, and it's great that you're able to figure out that time in the day, it's very important that you do sort of invest that time in creating what is it that you would like to do as a professional. So whether it's, again, a training course that you want to pick up online, whether there are people that you would want to chat with, who can help you develop yourself in the career, those are some of the things you should definitely try doing. And invest this time consciously. Again, don't try, just being very honest, don't try doing 100 things at the same time, okay? Figure out one space and create yourself as an expert into it, right? Then pick up something else and create yourself as an expert. But what that thing is, you can come to know from people who've excelled in your field. Look at what kind of things that they have done, what are some of the skills that they have, and can, during this time, you pick up some of those skills. There is a host of things available online. It's just to find the right thing and just latch onto it and go after it. Sometimes you will even be fatigued to go after it because the situation is just so different, but it's fine. Let's go find out that thing and make sure that we are targeted to achieve it. um, Anisha has asked us a question of how to thrive in my work from home career. I think, Anisha, if you have a work from home career, I think you're already, Anisha, a leap ahead of us in terms of knowing that how to sort of how to create a career when you're at home. And this may, and with your techniques of already having doing that, I think you are better pitched to manage the whole situation better than us. I think the way to thrive from your work from home career is, one, if you've identified a space where you have been working and you have been contributing and that's your career, so be at it. Make sure that you're able to contribute and go ahead with what you goals you had. The second thing is that from work from home standpoint, if you have a space to carry on, just carry on with that. Make sure, again, you're recreating the whole space that is most productive for you at home, and making sure that those things that you identify are there, and you carry on with them. A lot of opportunities today are for people who are ready to work from home, contribute maybe a little bit of their time, but have the skills that organizations need, are actually becoming very viable in the whole employment scenario. So I would recommend that if you've niched out that space for yourself, just explore opportunities. companies today will want people who are more happier, are more attuned to wanting to work from home, because that's a new scenario that we are all dealing with, right? So if you already have those skills of being ready to do that, I think just go ahead in what you figured out for yourself as an area and work towards that. um, Okay. Ansha has asked us, if I decide to make working from home a career, what are some work life balance tips? Again, this is one thing that I have always been thinking, that we always think of creating a work life balance. Imagine this, that is work very different from our own life, or is our life very different from our own work? I think those lines have really blurred today, right? We talk about work life balance, but imagine a large part of our life is also our buddies from work, people we hang out with. So both things sort of go with each other, right? So my only thing is, whether you are at work or you are at the other space of your life where you are with your family, or you are with your friends and relatives, I think it's a balance that you create wherever you are, whether you are at work or you are with your friends, family, relatives. Be present, right? Just consciously be there and enjoy that moment. I think that's about creating work life balance, right? They will sort of interject and creep into each other, and it's fine. We are a generation which is always on. We are a generation which is born to be in a way that we're always on, either on social media or on emails, etc. So trying to get to this whole scenario of a work life balance is, I think, more in the mind. It's all about being present in whatever you're doing, whether you're at work or whether you're at home, consciously making that effort, that you prioritize at that point in time what is most important. A lot of organization also, I understand today, are very conscious and very mindful that all of us have a life, which may be outside of work, and it needs to be given that much respect. So my only point is, that create a scenario where you're present wherever you are, you're giving your best in both of them, right? And prioritizing what is important and what is needed at both point in time. That's the only thing I'll say. What you will specifically need today, all of us know it, but from a mindset standpoint, we are a generation which is always on, and it is fine. We are born like that, right? Our scenario needs us to be like that. But whenever you are in whichever space of your life, make sure that you're present 100% over there, right? And you're making the most of that time, whether it's with your children or at work or whatever it is, right? And organizations are extremely mindful of and respecting the part of our life which is X of work, right? Because when they respect that, they make sure that we feel happy in whatever we do, and we put that extra effort into work. um, Okay, so Parnika had asked how to show my worth and showcase my contributions while working from home. I think a very good question, because it is very, very important that in this scenario specifically, where we are using technology more and more to communicate, where FaceTime is less with people that we can speak to, we may not be always able to look at all our audience and judge what's really needed, etc. It is very important that we sort of, one, learn and understand what are the best ways of using technology and presenting things, right? So whether you have to make presentations which are more attractive, or send notes before people look at your work, or do extra things to make sure that you're using technology and you're using extra aids to make sure your work is more understood. So whether it's about giving extra handouts, sending minutes of meeting, but showcasing that the work that you've done is the best of it in a scenario where you don't have FaceTime. So make those extra plus things to your work which may help. Also, as far as worth is concerned, if you've been in an organization and you've been contributing, don't take it as a time that your worth is going to go down just because they cannot see you or it's a work from home scenario. No, every organization today will highly respect people that have been with them, have done work with them, and are agile enough to sort of understand to be more effective at this point in time. So What is important is quickly figure out a way that you can adapt to this situation. You can show that I'm not really fatigued with the whole new context. I'm agile, I will adapt, and I will make sure that I'm as effective. But take care of your own self also. You can be effective only if you're making sure you found that me, you've created that whole space for yourself, and also made sure that you are feeling happy about the way you're recreating it at home. So organizations are not going to right now keep judging people's worth just because they cannot see them. It's fine, everybody's trying to pull their weight and do their stuff, so it's fine. Just make sure that you are at what your deliverables are. You're putting your 100% as you would have always done. Nobody is today questioning or judging worth, but yes, everything may need a plus plus today when it comes to presentation, communication, etc. Let's be mindful of that and make sure that we cover those things as we communicate. Sarah, how to cope with work pressure while working from home? Work pressure, again, if it exists in your workspaces, I'm sure not something that you must be experiencing for the first time, but yes, it has a very different connotation. The whole pressure things can have a very different connotation when it comes from work from home, because you also have those external forces that today we are dealing with when we're also dealing maybe an extra pressure, as you're calling it, at work. My only point again there would be, one, acknowledge and accept it. If I'm hoping you do work that you like doing, every work will have pieces that we may not like to do or may have timelines that we don't like, but that's fine, that's part of the overall thing, and let's accept them. Make sure that you have spaces for all of these, as I've been saying, that recreate the spaces which can manage this better for you. So if you're going undergoing a little bit of pressure at work, who was it at work that you could reach out to figure this out? Who do you generally have a chat about and crib about this time? What were those things that you were doing when you were in the normal, in the earlier scenario? I wouldn't call it normal, but in the earlier scenario that we were, when we were at work, who were you reaching out to? Who was that person who gave you advice? Who were those people who could help you through these situations? So please think of those and reach out to them. Yes, there'll be a little more pressure on us, or maybe a little more things to handle, because we are at home, we are with children, and we have even work to do at home today. But make sure that you segregate your time for that. Make sure that you consciously know that I'm going to segregate this time, do this. Sometimes work will still creep in into that time, and it is okay, right? It is okay for it to creep in, to sometimes get there. Also, when you're a little lighter on the work side, do keep your manager, organization posted and say, okay, I'm just going to take, say, a half an hour off. Take those breaks for yourself. Consciously make that effort for yourself and for your family, right? That's how you're going to ease out the whole space at this point in time. There is no direct answer, there's always a contextualized answer to us. But I'm again saying, if it's happening and it's overwhelming you, especially in the work from home scenario, think about how you can recreate what you did with it when we were at office, and how are some of those people or those techniques, or what did you do to take away this work pressure, and try recreating them even at a work from home scenario. Yeah, we are at the top of the hour, and I think maybe I can take one last question which was there. And this is one, I think this is a difficult one, I think, for all of us, and I'm going to just say, Ramya, that it is a difficult one for me also. Hi, Ramya says, hi, I'm running out of ways to keep my kids engaged while I'm working. um, I think keeping the kids engaged while we are working has led us to creative stuff that we are all trying to do. And I completely understand what you're saying, especially if you have really younger ones. I have a 5-year old, so I can understand that they don't even have so much of school work to do beyond a point. But Ramya, the only thing is, make them a part of your routine, right? Let them feel that it's okay if mummy is having a Zoom call or a video call or a chat. It's okay if they come in and they say hi. Just let them be there, let them feel a part of what you're doing. That'll at least let them feel that it's all okay, and they can be a part of what you are. They can come, say hi, go away, etc. We will have to continuously figure out creative ways to engage them. Yes, and screen time is one thing that we all have to save. So Do I have any very different techniques for this? Honestly, no. But we will have to find ways that we make them a part of our routine, make them feel that, we are there, and we are trying to do ways for them. But yeah, this is one space that I think we'll all have to be extremely creative at. That's the best thing I can say at this point in time. One thing I can really suggest is this whole online story reading thing which has come up. If your kids do like reading story, I think make sure that you sort of google that online. That's very, very useful. And also, I think, even for the kid as for us, identify that space that they really like, and see how we can figure out more creative stuff among that. So for example, my kid just likes coloring. So I've just got lots of things where he can just sit and color, and I do find time in the day for about half an hour or something where I sit down and do a coloring competition with him. So even with them, as it is for us, recreate the space that they are really missing, or give them something that they really like to do, and that would sustain their uh, the whole that would sustain their interest a little more. Yeah. um, I think we're at the top of the hour, as I said. So my only request to all of you would be, I hope you've found some stuff that I've said helpful, and hopefully you'll be able to use some techniques to sort of be positive and really thrive from work from home. Do write to me if there are any questions, or if there are further anything that I can be of support to. I'll be happy to sort of give my views on that, and very happy to even learn from other people's experiences.